I started surfing when I was 17. Just finished school, my A-levels, and I went to Langland one day, and I didn't intend to go surfing, but a friend of mine who was a swimmer in school had a board, you know. He bought a board in the 60s, and he said, "Oh, Pete, go and have a go on my board," you know. So I said, "Oh, no, I don't want to have a go." But I thought, oh, it looks cool. It was a hot summer's day in August. So I had to go on the board, you know. I paddle out, because of my swimming in school, I was confident in the water. Yeah. And I caught a bit of white water, stood up like caveman style, you know. And it was like a shot in the dark, you know. It was just like a lightning bolt that came through me. And I thought, wow, this is an amazing experience. And from then on, I was hooked. Surfing is a lot more popular now. I mean, probably the dawn of professionalism in 1976 sort of sparked off a growth in surfing. It was quiet in the 60s into the mid-70s, and then mid-70s it got busy, and now in the 90s it's very busy, and you know, into this century it's really grown. I mean, there's a lot more people surfing, particularly women and children as well.
I'd always thought about teaching people to surf, because it was something I sort of come from a swimming background, and I've been travelling around the world and seen surf schools operating in Australia, South Africa and Hawaii, and I quickly realised that Gower was the perfect destination to run a similar operation due to the safe, soft nature of the waves that break here.
Why do I like surfing the Gower? Because there's some amazing waves and some beautiful spots, and we get really good swell, especially in the winter. It's overcrowded in the summer, but generally it's really good surfing.
It's got many beaches, it's got many different types of waves for all levels of surfing, from complete novice, first timers, you've got Caswell and you've got Racine Bay, nice soft safe waves. And then you've got reef breaks, such as what you've got in Langland Bay for the club and intermediate surfers. And this is where Gower stands out from the competition in the southwest, where unfortunately there you've got a melting pot of beginners and experienced surfers all clashing in the water. Whereas people come to Caswell and it is known as a beginner stroke intermediate beach. So you don't have that clash in the water. And also, more importantly, people that come for a surfing lesson do not feel intimidated by the so-called good surfers.
My favourite breaks on the Gower, well, Llangennith is one of my favourite places to surf. Not particularly my favourite way, because here there's plenty of freedom and space. One of my favourite waves is the Sand Reef in Langland Bay, which is a big peak that breaks in the middle of the bay over a rock bottom. They call it the Sand Reef, but it's a rock break, a reef break. And when it's big, it's lovely. It's more like surfing in Cornwall or abroad. The wave is a very steep wave, sucks up, and it's a thrilling drop. And sometimes, if it's big, you can ride it all the way through to the beach. So Sand Reef is lovely. There's certain other places. Broughton Bay is a great longboarding wave when the swell is big. And there's a few reefs around here that are very good as well. So I think the Gower provides a huge variety of breaks, but Llangennith is the easiest place to surf for everybody, because there's so much room. There's 3 miles of golden sand, and you know, plenty of space for us to enjoy the sport.
I met a guy 15 years ago when I was living in Australia that told me there was waves in Wales, and I never believed him. And then I bumped into someone else in Indonesia, and he told me the same thing and showed me pictures. And I got back and moved here and did a degree, same college these guys are doing it in. And that was it. So it's 15 years on the Gower coast, travelling most winters, and made a career out of it. And the good thing is that I actually employ the students from the same college that I used to go to. It's brilliant, it's worked out really good. It's a fantastic winter surfing destination because there's no one around, as you can see today. just us.
A lot of students have come to Swansea primarily to actually do a degree or do a HND but surf at the same time. So surfing has always been a part of at least 20-30% of the students who've come to our courses. We have about 8 or 9 different leisure tourism and sports courses at the Institute, but only one really addresses the surfing aspect directly, and that's the water activities and adventure management. And that's been the springboard really for other courses to have been developed in terms of surfing, but the water sports course is the primary avenue that students come to the Institute to actually do surfing and actually get qualifications in surfing. A lot of students have surfed, so we thought there was a market niche for developing a surf course and a surf degree within the UK, which would be one of 2 that existed, and therefore we saw the WAM course, water activity course, as a progression towards the surf degree. A lot of interest was actually developed from the globe. We had students from California, from Australia, from landlocked countries such as Germany, actually interested in doing the course. So it prompted really a global interest in terms of doing a surf degree at Swansea. What we offer are vocational qualifications on the courses, which are usually BSA, which is British Surfing Association Level 1, Level 2, Level 3 coaching qualifications. And a lot of surf students end up working in surf schools within the UK, in Cornwall or in Gower. Those tend to be the sort of 2 areas where most of the students work on surf placements. The students tend to learn a lot in terms of going to new areas with new waves, new beaches, new management techniques. So we see field trips relating to the surf industry as being an important part of the course. There are other surfing degree courses elsewhere. Within the UK there are 2, ourselves and probably Plymouth, and within the rest of the world there are probably 2 others. Probably in America I think there's one, and there is one in Australia. So only 4 that I'm aware of worldwide.
The reason I'm doing it is because I just wanted to do something different to something like English or maths where you're just stuck in a classroom all day. I just wanted to do something where you're actually outdoors, just getting to do things in the countryside and at the beach, and there's so much to do around Swansea and the Gower. And I just thought it's a great way to get a really good qualification, something I enjoy.
Since, you know, organisations like Surfers Against Sewage have been lobbying against companies and things, it has got definitely a bit cleaner, you know. I can't say it's all, you know, as good as we'd like, it's all over, you know, but I mean, I think we've just got to keep an eye on what's happening, you know, governments and industries, and hope that it's, you know, stays clear, because there's nothing better than surfing a clean wave than a dirty, brown, muddy wave, you know. I mean, it's lovely when you take off on a hollow tube that you can see through, and here you can't see the bottom, but a lot of this is silt here, because you've got an estuary, you've got a lot of silt pollution. So there we are.
Okay.
Surfing is living. Peace. Okay, there we are.